Good evening, everybody. Oh, it's so, huge thanks to you all for coming tonight. I didn't have a clue exactly how many people. So when I took the space, I thought I'd be all right, about 50 people. And then it's kind of like, oh, they're coming. Oh, and they're coming. And it just kind of built. So we're very happy, aren't we?
We're very happy. Thank you all very much.
And we have got people from, furthest west in Penzance, right up to East Cornwall, Kelstock.
Woohoo!
And what a fantastic thing. So I hope you have a good time tonight. The plan is, look, we're going to have a bit of a talk with a slideshow. Apologies, as you can see, we've had to cobble together a bit of a blackout. So I am really sorry that it's not as bright as it could be, but as the sun goes down.
That's a bit like us, not as bright as we could have been.
So as the sun goes down, we might brighten up a bit. Anyway, part of the talk, we're going to do a bit of a sing as well during the talk. So if you'd like to join in with us, you're really welcome. So is there anything else I need to say? Either fire exit. When we finish the talk, we're hoping we're not going to go on too long, but me and Sally do like to talk a lot. But if we get it out of the way in an hour, and then we'll have a bit of a sing all together, we're thinking we might get the chairs out of the way and just get together in a circle and have a big sing. All right? So, anybody want to ask anything before we start? You know where the beer is? So yeah. Right. So, I'm just going to start singing something.
Every song we sing, we want you to join in. So if you know it, join in, please.
I had a dream
the other night, the funniest dream of all. I dreamt that I was kissing you behind the garden wall, and she said, "Little Lize, I love you, little Lize, I love you, I love you in the springtime and the fall. Little Lize, I love you, little Lize, I love you, I love you best of all."
I'm going to stop you there, otherwise we'll be here all night. But hopefully we'll do that again later. But I wanted to ask you, do you know where that song came from? If you've read the book, you will. We sing that song all the time in Cornwall. We've sung it since, when we went round. By the way, we were recording, and so loads of you were there when we recorded, was 2012. So it's like so much longer, yeah.
We were all children then.
So Sal and I, we got really intrigued by the whole thing of where these songs come from. How come these are the songs that we sing in Cornwall? And certainly you go across the Tamar and nobody knows them, do they? It's just a real strong tradition in Cornwall. And in a way it was like we were taking it for granted because that's what you do. And we just thought, but people kept saying to us, more and more pubs are closing, male voice choirs are disappearing, soon these songs will have gone. So that was kind of one of our reasons for doing what we did. So going back to this song, here we go. It works. This is the Joy Boys from Camborne. Anybody know them? Oh, you might know, from the 50s. We actually got to talk to, what was his name?
I've forgotten his name as well.
We got to talk to one of them, and sadly, in the making of the book, he died. But we actually got to talk to him. And basically, Little Lize...
Stanley something. Oh, Stanley Hoskin.
That's it, Stanley Hoskin.
Yeah.
So Little Lize was written as Lisa Loves You in 1885 by Charles Sheffer. Nearly 100 years later, in March 1983, Stanley Hoskin of Camborne contacted Radio Cornwall to say that he and his group, the Joy Boys, had introduced the song to Cornwall. He said that in those days, everyone was a Saturday night singer, and the best singers came from Gerry, North Roscia. Yeah. It was the North Roscoe area of Camborne. I remember somebody telling me that they used to go off to the toilets and sing in there, public toilets, because the acoustics were so good. Yeah. Anyway, the Joy Boys had picked up the song Little Eyes, then known as Honey Honey, from a single by the Deep River Boys, and that it was through them the song became popular in Cornwall. So it changed from Your Little Liza Loves You to Little Eyes I Love You. And I remember someone saying to me, do people really like Little Eyes in Cornwall? And I said, yeah, they do. Yeah. So anyway, we are now going to show you this. It's really hard to see, isn't it? This is, so we are relaunching the book, and the reason we're relaunching it is partly because it used to have CDs in the back, and now we've got a QR code. It links to, we put all the tracks that are in the book up on Bandcamp so people can access it. And years ago, I was talking to this man here, Jack Morrison, because he used to work for Feast, and I talked to him about how could we get everything up online, and wouldn't it be brilliant if there was a map? And that was all far too technological for me. I couldn't cope with it. But years later, this lovely man over there, Chris Trevina, he basically put every record. So everywhere we went to about 20 odd pubs, was it?
Can't remember, quite a lot.
Well, there's a
long time ago.
There's a list there. If you can see these little yellow dots, they are all the pubs we went to around Cornwall, even on the Isles of Scilly, and every place we recorded the whole evening, but we only put one song in the book. So now you can go online and you can click on those yellow dots and you can hear the whole evening. And also we did a blog everywhere we went, so there's a bit of a diary, so you can go and have a look at your pub where you sing, and like the St Alban Arms, or which we recorded you lot there. You know, you can go and have a look and have a listen to the whole night, which is, yeah, brilliant. We do apologise, the recording quality may have been limited because, as I say, me and Sally are not technologically...
Not at all. No.
And like, when you get to the bit with the Isles of Scilly, I got the actual recorder on the Solonian, and I don't have any, what's it called, the wind thing that you put on that. So, yeah, sock. So all you can, there's a lot of wind on that, but it's very atmospheric. Right, anyway, carrying on. Are you going to do the next bit?
Yes. Okay, so going back to the very beginning, Hilary and my beginnings, we were both involved in singing from quite an early age. Both our families were singing families. We loved to sing, singing in the car, singing in the bath, singing wherever. And I grew up initially in Boscastle. We moved when I was 12 or something, but before that I'd lived in Boscastle. And in 1975, my brother John Mills was home from university, and he walked into the Nap, the Napoleon Inn in Boscastle, only to discover that Peter Kennedy was recording the evening's entertainment there. And that included the next song we're going to sing, Thousands or More. The recording at the Nap, which was called Boscastle Bow Wow and came out, I believe, on cassette initially, had local people such as Charlie Jose, Freddie Jewell pitching up and singing some of their favourites.
And here they are, by the way.
And my brother John can also be heard clearly singing on the Morna, which is lovely for me. And it included Thousands or More, this Boscastle Bow Wow. The album became popular and also a very important resource in Cornish music at the time. And it inspired lots of other people, including our beloved Hilary and her brother Will.
So I didn't know Sal, but I knew the tape Boscastle Bow Wow. We used to listen to it and learn all the songs off it. But we used to go, well, the first bit of singing, apart from my dad singing in the car, Clementine and things like that, the first bit of singing we really got into was when we went rowing, and this is flashboat rowing rather than gig rowing. But then the only gigs was at Newquay. The flashboat rowing was all around Cornwall, and that's how I know Jonathan, because we actually rowed down Hale, where he also rowed. Every time we finished rowing, we would sing, and so that I got to know all the songs like through singing for rowing. But the most important place for me in around our area was the Queen's Head in Albaston. This is a drawing my dad did, by the way. He actually drew pencil drawings throughout the book of different pubs, but it's kind of nice that he drew this. So the Queen's Head was a really important place for us to learn our songs, and there was a guy called Bass there. He's called Bassett, but they called him Bass, but I always thought he was called Bass because he had such a brilliant bass voice. But Vic Legg used to come up to the Queen's Head and sing on the Friday nights as well, and I remember him singing Thousands or More, and then in the end, Thousands. One of the things I like about the song is the way it travelled, because so it was known up in Boscastle in North Cornwall, it was known in East Cornwall, Vic Legg, but further west it isn't so well known, and when we recorded there wasn't many people singing it. But the Perriners, the Sainers, sang it, and that's the version we have on the book, the recording we've got in the book, and that's them singing it there. That's Karen, and yeah, they sing with us now. Yeah, and they learnt it because there was a guy called Ian Marshall, who was actually my music teacher at school. He ended up being the musical director of the Kelstock Singers, and then he became the MD for the Perriners, and he took these songs with him. So that's the way the songs travel, isn't it? It's just like word of mouth. It's like people knowing stuff. So I thought, yeah, it'd be nice if we sang Thousands and More. No. Okay.
Now time passes over more swiftly and gay, since we found a new earth to drive sorrows away. Sorrows away. Sorrows away. Sorrows away.
tonight, as well as being a celebration of all you wonderful singers and of the lovely book that we have relaunched, we'd also like to make it a tribute to Roger Bryant.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily the most flattering one of him, but he is in full flow.
We all know how important he was. And he was absolutely an ardent supporter of this folk club. I believe he may have started Dreamers Folk, am I right?
No. Jonathan.
That was you, was it?
Jonathan's.
Oh, I do apologise, it was Jonathan. But Roger was very important, wasn't he? Yeah, he was very important in it. Sorry.
Right in the back there.
Yeah, no heckling. So Roger grew up in St Mawes. He had a Welsh father and a Cornish mother. His family were Methodist, and in his own words, without the temperance element. 3 of his relatives were well-known pub singers, and he remembered as a youngster sneaking in the back door of a St Mawes pub to hear the singing on Friday nights. He said that certain songs were associated with certain people who would sit in the same place and sing their song. His singing career started out as MC at the Tankards Folk Club. Please don't tell me I'm wrong about that. In Falmouth. And then he went on with Rum and Shrub, which began in 1991. And very sadly, their last performance, I believe, was this year at Falmouth Shanty Festival.
Yeah.
Very sadly missed. Roger's songs are sung across Cornwall, and this one, the Miners' Anthem, was written in the year 2000 for the Cry of Tin, which was a musical documentary drama by the Cornwall songwriters, which is where Hilary first met him. Yeah. And it was about the rise and fall of tin mining in Cornwall.
And I just wanted to add that he was really into, he told me like he was really into Sankey hymns. Some of you probably know that. As well as being a shanty singer, he loved the hymns. And at the pub later on, we'll talk about the Golden Lion, but he would start, finish, and have a hymn in the middle. Absolutely gorgeous. I love hymns as well, actually. So anyway, he told me that he wanted to write a hymn, the Miners' Anthem. He wanted to write a hymn where the words reflect the lives of the miners in a way that most hymns do not. So yeah, although there was all these lovely hymns, they weren't specifically about mining, and that's kind of where the Miners' Anthem came from. And he also, the reason he said he liked them is because they were easy to learn with good tunes, and I would add good harmonies as well. So and actually we believe, I mean really, hymn singing would have had a real significance to miners and to fishermen, you know, in when you think about the dangers of the sea, the dangers of being down underground, the darkness, a light in the darkness would have made perfect sense, you know, that you'd sing these hymns to kind of keep you, to feel, you know, that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, literally. So we're going to sing Miners' Anthem for you. Well, not for you, with you. If you know it, please join in. All right? Everybody ready? Oh, well, no, stay.
The mind is like fish or ramp when you're working underground. So share your faith with the other men and let your soul be found. So place yourself in the Saviour's hands and let His good grace flow. Sing out His name and the working text and trust the God you know. And trust. And trust. And trust. And trust. life is short and hard when you're working underground. So share your faith with the other men and let your souls be found. So place yourself in the Saviour's hands and let His good grace flow. Sing out His name at the working place and trust the God you know. And trust the God. And trust the God. And trust the God. And trust the God. Sing out His name at the working place and trust the God you know. And trust the God. And trust the God. And trust the God. And trust the God. Sing out His name at the working place and trust the God you know.
I didn't explain this bit, but this is Moody and Sankey. So have all of you heard about Sankey evenings, Sankey hymns? Am I preaching to the converted? So Moody was a preacher. Sankey wrote music, and they were evangelists in America, and they came to Britain. They never actually made it as far as Cornwall. They got to Plymouth and stopped. But the Methodists absolutely loved them, and because of the Methodism being really strong in Cornwall, these hymns just became really popular. And they are brilliant. They are simple, but I would call them folk, almost like folk hymns. So they're just, yeah, they're so lovely. So we're moving on. We're going to stay with religion. Cadra singers, of course. So I just... one of the hymns that I first learned was Lily of the Valley. And where I learnt it was in Douarnenez in Brittany. And who I learnt it off was Tatty. And we were in Douarnenez and we were looking out over the harbour, and it was the Maritime Festival, and it was all these beautiful boats all twinkly and the noise of the masts all, clattering. And my brother introduced me to Tatty and the Cadra singers, and Tatty shoved a cup of rum and shrub into my hand and started singing Lily of the Valley. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like rum and shrub, Lily of the Valley, and this beautiful harmony. So it's always been a real special hymn for me, always. So we're going to sing. We are going to sing that in a minute, but before we do, we're going to... I just want to pay homage to the Cadra singers, first of all, because it was because of them as well that we knew so many of the songs, and they kept it going for so many years in singing. And Tatty was just a wonderful guy, wasn't he? Many of you knew him, I'm sure, from House Furry Day and Isles of Scilly. The Lily of the Valley actually came from... We discovered it actually came from a book by the Jubilee Choir Singers. This was amazing singers who we've only recently discovered actually came to Cornwall. They actually came and sang in Perranporth. And in 1983, they created a book called The Jubilee Singers, and their campaign for $20,000 was published.
I believe they also sang in the Flower Pot Chapel in Redruth.
Oh, did they?
I believe so.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Prove me wrong.
So, in this book, the book contains a number of songs still sung in Cornwall, including Lily of the Valley. Only 6 months after the end of the American Civil War and the abolition of slavery, Fisk University was opened in Nashville, Tennessee, specifically to offer education to freed slaves. In 1871, a choir made up of Fisk University students went on to fund a fundraising tour of Europe, and as I said, including Cornwall. They raised nearly $50,000 to build the Jubilee Hall at the university. They thus helped break down racial barriers, singing slave songs to the world. And these were the first time people had heard the spirituals And it was like no one had ever heard anything like it before. I mean, apart from the black people. But, you know, Europeans were like, ooh, you know, what is this? And, so a lot of the spirituals were sung by the male voice choirs. And we have this wonderful man, Nick Nichols. Some of you at the back there, you know who he is. This is at the Fountain in Mevagissey. And Lily of the Valley was one of his specials. He would sing, and that's the members of the choir. Is any of you lot there tonight? I can't tell. You've got a bit older. Sadly, Nick is yet another man who has passed away. When we went to invite people, you know, in the 15 years since we did the recordings, the amount of people who have passed away is, you know, really sad. But I'd like to think that it is a bit of a tribute to them. So shall we sing Lily of the Valley?
So Roger very kindly invited us to the Golden Lion back in probably 2011?
2012.
2012. I'm sure I don't need to tell you all its Estivians. and it was to hear one of their regular singing nights, which I've got written down here, and Jonathan, please correct me.
What's she going to say?
I've got it written down as what are their singing night? Oh no, set up in 1997. I thought it was going to say by Roger. No, that's me. Please correct me if I get anything wrong. Roger acted as the compere for the evening that we were there, introducing songs and singers in turn with his great good humour. There were singers from as far afield as Penzance, Calstock, and even Bideford, which is in darkest Devon, I believe. We recognised a few faces and voices. Rowena Metters and Sylvia Fletcher, with the wonderful bass of Jinx Jenkins.
I heard him today down at the Key Fair, Baldrick's Plan, sounding gorgeous. Really lovely.
I don't know if they sing together still, but they were Thorn and Roses.
Yeah, no, they don't.
No. But it's a shame because they were so
Gorgeous,
good.
yeah.
They were so good. Anyway, the song we chose from that night was sung by Lynn Sheville. She's not here, is she?
She is.
Oh, she is, Lynn.
She's been very quiet.
She is. She's hiding away there. Well, she was, as far as we were concerned, she was the star of the night. And she was born and grew up near Bodmin. And she told us that as children they were always singing, like lots of us. And especially in the car, which was a Vauxhall Vector.
I love the little detail that it was a Vauxhall Victor. We had Vauxhall Victors as well.
It's really important to get these details. And she told us that if the engine was on, they were singing. Yeah. And she particularly remembers her father, Owen Julian from Tregony, singing The Old Grey Duck. Singing it gently as a lullaby. The night we heard Lynn sing was the first time she had sung publicly for over 30 years. She had been coerced, in a nice way, to sing it by Ro and Sylvia.
Oh,
so she sang as she remembered her father singing it. We still sing The Old Grey Duck in memory of one of our singers, Chris Easton, who is no longer with us, yet another one, very sadly passed away. And he loved The Old Grey Duck. It was absolutely his song.
Yeah.
And he said of it, The Old Grey Duck is one of those songs I've always known. When he realised that it was a Marmite song, love it or hate it, he thought he should form the Old Grey Duck Appreciation Society, which we're all members of.
Well, Chris and I used to say we only had two members, me and him, but...
The folklorist Peter Kennedy recorded miners singing The Old Grey Duck in the pub at Pendeen in 1956. And the song itself was first published in Ralph Dunstan's Cornish Dialect and Folk Song book in 1932. The melody that we sing it to and is most commonly sung these days is also associated with the ancient carol, The Seven Joys of Mary, but it has certainly been sung to other tunes over the years.
So we're going to sing it. Lynn, I don't know if you want to sing it now. I'll sing it if you don't.
Hilary Coleman wants to see you, and you came over and said, why did you sing it like that? And I thought, Mega, I did it really wrong, the first time you sang it. Anyway, and he said it's the Old Grey Duck Appreciation Society, and I said, Roger, don't be too one, because I thought you'd make it all up, so it was a funny evening.
I'll tell you why, Lynn, is because when I learnt it, everyone sang it like really fast. It was really raucous, and it was gorgeous. And our singer, Chris Easton, he used to sing it more gently like that as well.
I sang it to shut me up and get me to speak.
I'm struggling, don't worry.
Shall I just do one?
We'll join in on the chorus, yeah?
The old grey duck, she stole her
wonderful. Thanks. So, we always usually end up with quacking at the end. Very irrelevant. When we went round all the pubs, Sal did this great big spreadsheet of all the songs, and it's just so fascinating to, it's like, Cornwall is surrounded by sea, and it's like flotsam and jetsam, and it gets washed up on the shore. The songs were a bit like that. The mix of songs, it was just, so interesting to see. There are the old musical ballady ones like Little Eyes, and then you've got folk songs, which are like Old Grey Duck. You've got the hymns that we've already mentioned, and they all used to do. It was like a jigsaw puzzle, all these different things. Also, diaspora, bringing songs back over from where the miners had all been, and came back. So it was just this great mix and match of stuff, and fishing, mining and farming, were really important, and of course shanties as well. And one of the songs that was very popular at the time was, I hope you can read that, was this. So as well as all these older songs, there were new ones being written, and Cornish Lads, Roger's song, Cornish Lads, was one of the ones that was very popular as a newer song. I say new, it was written in 1994. He wrote it following the closure of Giver in 91 and became known everywhere. And here it is, graffitied on the wall of South Crofty, not long after it. Well, when I say not long after it, basically the people who did that graffiti were coming home from a theatre tour, and they'd heard on the radio that South Crofty had closed, and they grew up, born Red Ruth. So they came to the gates and put a posy of flowers and a card. And one of them happened to have some chalk in her pocket. And she scrawled that along the walls in chalk. Her friend, who is a good friend of mine as well, said, we should make it more permanent. So they went back the next night to her mother and her brother, and they painted the wall this, more permanently, the graffiti. And I saw my friend today, and I said, was it true about the police car? She said, yeah. As they were painting it, a police car came along. So they quickly started walking with paint pots in their hand. And they said the police car slowed down, saw what they'd written, and drove on. So it was kind of... So, and that was there for years. I think most of you probably saw it. It is no longer there because they bashed it all down. But so I was thinking, can we sing Cornish Lads? We recorded this in Bude with the Ben Coolin records, and that's a picture of them. They're all doing cheers with everyone in the pub. So can we sing Cornish Lads? All right. Oh, Cornish Lads, yeah.
Cornish lads are fishermen, and Cornish lads are miners too. But when the fish and tin are gone, what are the Cornish boys to do? From Newlyn town we used to sail, through rain and wind and lashing gale. The backward shoals we hoped to find, and soon we left Land's End behind. For Cornish lads are fishermen, and Cornish lads are miners too. But when the fish and tin are gone, what are the Cornish boys to do? We searched the seven stones around, but
the other thing, so Cornish Lads was one of the popular songs that we heard all around Cornwall in 2012. As I said, Sally did this wonderful spreadsheet, and we actually itemised all the songs that were most popular at the time. And back in the day, we used to say, which ones do you think would be the most popular? And it was like Little Eyes or White Rose.
Sweet Nightingale was often...
And we say, well, no, funny enough, it was a lesser well-known song called Cornwall My Home. And we all laugh now because it is everywhere, isn't it, Harry? And thank you for writing such a brilliant song that's meant so much to so many people. We just, so we just wanted to show you this wonderful picture. I do apologise for the quality. It's a little bit blurry, but...
If you want to see the photos properly, you need to buy a book.
So, this was the singers on the Newquay and Isles of Scilly rowing weekend, which was so fantastic to go over.
Oh, amazing.
We never saw a boat the whole time we were there. We were just with all the singers. But yeah, and this is on St Agnes. Look at it, it's gorgeous. And does anybody know this guy? Does anybody know him? I don't know him, actually. But he had this T-shirt and he said, "There are no strangers here, only new friends we haven't met." And one of the things about singing, everywhere we went, the joy and the kindness and the hospitality, and, you know, someone said to us, you can't be angry when you sing. And I thought, oh, that's just lovely, isn't it? So it's just another example as well of the pride in Cornwall, and that's what's been developing, isn't it, over the years?
Absolutely.
These songs have been written about Cornwall, so you're going to say something about the language, yeah?
Yeah, you've probably noticed yourselves that over the last, I don't know, couple of decades, that pride in Cornwall has really taken off. When I was a kid, I did know when St Piran's Day was, because my father was quite a proud Cornishman, but probably most people weren't even aware of it, whereas now it's a really huge thing, isn't it? So you may, I hope, be aware that the Cornish language in 2010 was acknowledged as a living language, and this led to increased interest in it. Hooray. And now, in 2026, in January of this year, the Cornish language has been officially recognised under Part 3 of the European Charter, I've got to read this, the European Charter for Regional or Minority Languages. And that means, I think, that Kernowic enjoys the same level of promotion and protection as all the other Celtic languages across Britain. So the final song we're going to sing is in Cornish, of course. It was written by Dick Gendel, who I expect you're aware of. He wrote so many songs in Cornish, in English, and in various other languages.
Germany and French, I think.
He was a real linguist. And this one, I believe, he actually wrote for Brenda.
Yeah.
And
wrote
Brenda Wotton recorded it, and he wrote a tremendous amount specifically for her. They were obviously good friends. But anyway, this one, we're going to be singing that in a moment. Hilary, do you want?
So we, as I said, with the book I mentioned earlier, we wanted it to be a tribute to the old singers, and also to the current singers. Well, now some of those current singers are no longer with us.
And some of the current singers are the old singers.
Yeah. And hopefully the singers yet to be. But it was also a tribute to the pubs, and this I have to make note of our pub. Woo! I'm sorry, Victoria. I know we're not in that pub, but he doesn't have a function room. But anyway, the Countryman is just down the road, and we've been singing there since 2011, first Sunday of every month, and it's just brilliant. It's just
Please come along.
He is just a great landlord. He's now 80, and he's encouraged an amazing amount of acoustic music evenings. He has ukuleles, traditional music sessions on a Monday night, shanty nights, choir nights. He's just great. And he's been behind the bar for 40 years. So I think that might make him one of the oldest landlords in yeah. So this is, I also want to say a big thank you to my lovely singers, the Red River Singers, because they... I didn't mean to say my singers. I'm very, very grateful that I have such a lovely group of people to sing with, because I can't do harmonies on my own. And also, being a woman, it's actually really hard to, you know, actually project your voice. So to have other women and lots of men as well joining in is just really just wonderful. To raise the roof with loads of harmonies is gorgeous. So we are going to sing Kerra Kernow for you, if you know it, and I think some people at the back might do, because they've practiced. Talking of which, we're going to Lorient Inter-Celtic Festival. When I say we, my band is going, but we're going to be singing with Barrett's Privateers. Yay! Representing Cornwall. And this is one of the songs we're going to sing, isn't it? Yeah. So, right, so please join in if you want to. This might be a different pitch to what you're used to. Kerra, Kerra, Kerra. Do you want to stand up to me? We might just stand up and turn round. You can do the first verse for me. Okay. Hey.
Kerra
very much. That is the end of that bit. So I was hoping that we might be able to squish some of the chairs away around the tables, and then we could have a bit of a sing in the middle of the room with all of us together. Just before I finish, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Dreamers Folk. They got a beautiful banner, which you'll see in a minute. And we would just like to present a book to them to say thank you very much for So, thank you, everybody. If you want to go get yourselves a drink.